Hey everybody. Let me set up chat. All right. Let me get the light together. Okay. Hopefully that's good. So, today I'm going to start coloring these guys finally because I took pictures. So I am able to color them now because they're in my tablet. So I'm able to color them because I've already got them in there. So I don't have to worry about editing the color out when I try to redraw these for the coloring book. So I finally took pictures. So we're going to start with this one. I'm just erasing the pencil lines that are super in the way, especially on Miso because he is white. But I'm going to have to go over him because there's like some little specks or something on these guys and I don't know where they came from. So okay. My marker swatch book, which is separate from my pencil swatch book because I have an abundance of markers now, so I'm creating a separate swatch book for just my markers. So these are the early days or the early part of the journey adventure, however. So Miso is going to be in his orange and brown, and I'm thinking of making his sunglasses green. So for the background, I'm just gonna do a blue, kind of a light blue. Since they're at the beach, I was gonna do yellow, but I think I'm gonna like the blue better. So I'm gonna grab a nicety. I'm gonna grab maybe a Jussart because they have a nice light blue. So I'm gonna grab that. And this is just a quick stream before work. I've got about 45 minutes to an hour, depending. I'm already mostly dressed, so all right. I did almost forget to put my watch on. If I don't do that, it won't get put on. So, all right. So I have the light blue, and then we'll work on. I don't know what color I want Pot's clothes to be. I think I had him in blue. Was Pot in blue or in red? I don't really remember. I can just put him in blue and white. Oh, Pot was in, well, that was the Valentine's Day one. I thought I had, and it might have been in the other sketchbook. Yeah, I think it was in the other one. So we're just going to put him in blue and white for now. But here we go. And just, I'm going to try to zoom in for you guys a little bit. Without, okay, there we go. I'm like, without messing up the camera. Okay. And I have to be careful because this one is already outlined. So, and I'm a bit lazy and don't want to have to go over the outline again. So, which I might have to. So, I'm being careful, but not too careful. Because I can always go over it. I didn't shake this up, so it's like coming out kind of funny. And I didn't hear the little ball being shooken, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. We'll see. I mean, the color's coming out fine. I do like this blue. I think the orange is gonna pop. Again, for those who don't know, I don't know anything. Well, I don't want to say anything. I know extremely little about color theory. So I only know very few colors that work together and which ones don't really work together. So I kind of just play things by ear. I don't know what that noise is. The downstairs neighbors have been making a lot of noise since yesterday. It was yesterday, Sunday. Since yesterday morning, around like 7 a.m., that same buzzing noise that you hear, they started with it yesterday, 7 a.m. I don't know what it is. Uh, and then they followed up with some hammering and all kinds of stuff. I don't know what it is, but they disrupted my sleep yesterday, and I'm glad I'm awake today when they decided to start doing it. But they were doing it all day yesterday. I was like, what is going on down there? And I didn't want to be that neighbor, like, to go knock and be like, hey, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing? Because they are adults down there, and they do know we have like it's called a quiet time. So, after I believe 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., I forget, to 10 a.m., you're not supposed to be making obnoxious noises, loud noises, parties, music, anything like that. And they don't follow that. They don't really follow anything that we're supposed to be doing around here. And I don't want to be that neighbor to be like, listen, it's 7 a.m. People definitely are still asleep. 7 a.m. on a Sunday, I'm definitely still asleep. I'm just getting to sleep, matter of fact. So can you like knock it off until maybe like 10 a.m.? I don't want to be that person. Uh, but at the same time, I'm like, 7 a.m. is crazy. So I don't know. At least today they waited until noon. Because they were running it from 7 a.m. Taylor, hey Taylor. 7 a.m. until like 10 or 11. I'm like, at first I thought maybe it was like a carpet cleaner or something. But the only room in these apartments that have carpets is the bedroom. So if it is a carpet cleaner, your carpet is extremely filthy for you to be cleaning it that long. Um, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. But 7 for hours cleaning one room with the carpet cleaner is crazy. So I don't think it's a carpet cleaner. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's very noisy. And it probably sounds a little muffled to you guys, but I don't know. Hey, Mary. I didn't see you there. How are you? So I'm definitely going to have to go over this with the black a little bit again. Which is fine. I kind of knew that when I outlined it, but I thought, this was like early on, I thought I had to outline it in order to see it when I took the picture, but I don't need to. I can just do the sketch and take a picture of the sketch and put it on my iPad because I have to redraw it over anyway. So the outlines don't really matter simply because it's a whole different outline on my iPad anyway. So I don't have to really do this black outline until after I color it. But this was like early in my sketchbook, so it's okay. So we're just doing some coloring before work. All right, got the background done. Thank you. These are the Just Art markers, and the numbers are like rubbing off. I put them in Sharpie, but it gets really warm out here, so the numbers aren't gonna last very long. But they are in order in my book, so in my binder, so that's okay. So I'm gonna pick. I almost want a lime green, but at the same time, not really. For Miso's glasses, I'm looking at like a jade green, but the lime green might be cute. Even though that's not really his green, I can kind of go with it anyway. I got this winter melon color in the Tule Arts. I'm gonna try that. And that's going to be number 15 in the green. I had like a little swatch paper thing. I don't know. I keep losing that thing. So I'm just gonna grab a little swatch paper here. Hopefully I always say, hopefully this isn't drying out and I have to change it, and then that's exactly what happens. It ends up being dry because I don't take care of my nibs like I should. So let me see what I did with and I just got a pack thanks to my Ko-fi donators and subscribers and members. And I don't know what I did with that new, it's a not the pack. I have the markers. I don't know what I did with the little thing that came with it. Give me one brief moment. And they can't be far because I literally just got them. Oh, here's my actual swatch one. Should probably use that. But I don't know what I did. Because I was like, I'm going to put them, oh, I see. I stashed them in here. I was like, I'm going to put them somewhere because I wanted to put them all in one. I have them all in one little baggie right here. So I wanted to like put them all together. So I was like, okay, let me put them somewhere. But that probably wasn't the best place to put it. If I'm being honest, I probably should have stuck it somewhere where I can visibly see it. But I don't like having like a bunch of these little bags, so I just put them all into one. I'm gonna take out one for that marker. But I do want to get some more of these just to have them on hand because I changed my nibs quite a bit because this is not enough. I don't take care of my nibs like I should, so I need to start getting replacements and putting them away. So just like whenever I have like extra coin to do so, because I think the replacements are like 17 or 18, but I think you get like 30 of them. So which is nice. You get quite a bit because every time you buy a pack, you get whoops, you get, I forget how many in there you get. I think you get like 10, probably less. So when you buy like an actual replacement, you get 30, I believe. And I have the extra fine and the extra fine nibs in the, I forgot what the other one is called. It's not medium, but they both fit in this marker because there's two nibs that fits in these marker sizes. So I have both on my wish list because I do want to try that other size because it's a little bit bigger than this, these extra fine ones. So I want to give those a shot. So I have that on my wish list. I'll probably buy those first since I have some for this size already. So I'll probably buy those first just to try and see how I feel about that size. Because they don't sell that size in the markers. They only sell it the nibs. So I still have to keep the extra fine markers, which I like, but I do want to try that other size. But I just love my Tule Arts. These are like my favorites. Once I get all of the sets in the extra fine, I think I am going to start getting the same colors, but in the medium nib. I think once I get the skin tone set and the blue set, then in the purples. Those are the last colors I think I need in the pro set. In the pro series, I mean. So once I get those, then I'll do a loop around and do like the start over and do the earth tone sets and the medium and then so on and so forth, pastels. They also have a brush nib in some of the sets, not all of them yet, but they are rolling out brush tips. So I know the essentials, I believe, have brush tips, the pastels, the blues, the greens, and I want to say the purples, but I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, the next size up is going to be, sorry, I'm just going to put on a little bit of lotion because I feel like I put some on already, but I feel like I guess it wasn't enough. And I'm looking at this one ash spot on my hand and it was driving me crazy. The next size up would be medium, the medium nibs. And they're a bit thicker. But then, or the brush tip, I guess, would also be an option, but not all of them. They don't have all of them in brush tip. So you have to kind of be mindful of that because they don't all come in brush tips. Alright, so we're going to get his orange shirt going here. I guess I'm going to use this shuttle art one. It seems the brightest. So what are you guys up to today? Anybody doing anything interesting besides work? Because I'll be at work. This marker is so juicy. See, this is why I said I think they're cleaning the carpet, because it kind of sounds like they're moving furniture down there. But cleaning one room for 2 days is crazy. But I know she does have a cat, and she also has a dog, but I mean, I don't know. But also, she also smokes in the house, which is something she shouldn't be doing. But because that's like, we're supposed to be like a non-smoking unit or whatever. But she smokes in the house, so there's no telling how dirty her carpet is, because smoke sticks to everything. So it's possible that, that could be something she's trying to clean up down there. Not sure, but my goodness. I think I'm gonna go with a darker brown for his pants. Oh, I can test. I just got that brown set. Let me see. I'm gonna go with, I like this golden brown. I might go with that. It's a warm brown. I could go a little bit slightly darker. Yeah, I'm gonna go slightly darker. Just slightly. Okay. You're making videos today, okay. What about you, Tracy? What are you up to? So, I was reading on the Tuliart, I think it was like a pamphlet or something on their Instagram or something, but they were saying that if you don't use your markers for 2 weeks, then you're supposed to like take them out and clean off the nibs with a little bit of water so they don't dry out. That is something I definitely do not do. So I think every Wednesday I'm going to do that. I'm just going to sit down with some water. I'm going to take them out and store them like this and just get a little bowl of water and clean the nibs off. So you can run them underwater, or you can like just clean them off with a little bit of water. So I'm just going to get a bowl and, kind of give them a bath, I guess. Try to take better care of my nibs, since this is something I'm going to be mainly using in my sketchbook, and trying to be a little bit more cost effective, because I know that I'm going to need to get certain replacements and stuff too, because I use them so much. So personally, I would rather spend the money on replacements, actual replacement markers, versus getting nibs, because I don't have no sense and don't know how to use my nibs the way I'm supposed to. So I would rather do that. So I'm gonna spend some time doing that on Wednesday. I do have to wash, and then I also have an eye appointment on Thursday. So, ooh, you're spending time in the garden. Okay. I do not have a green thumb, but I do like looking at people's gardens and things like that, because I can't garden to save my life. I would need like a super, super easy indoor plant where I don't have to worry about, oops, I forgot to water it type of thing. Excuse me, because I'll forget, sadly. Um, and not purposely. It's just that, it happens. I guess. I mean, does it happen or is it just me? You guys are probably like, forget the water. Yeah. Yeah, Mary, they say if you don't use it, because I guess that's why also, like, sometimes the nibs dry out. Like, this one is, I haven't probably used this color since I bought it. Um, and if you look, I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look closely, there is, I can see some paint kind of like caked up on it. But even if I try to like wipe that off, it is acrylic, so it's probably too late. So I need to change the nib. But going forward, I know like, okay, um, you know, on Wednesday, even though they say every 2 weeks, on Wednesday, um, and one of these days, Tulliard to sponsor me. They told me that I needed at least 10,000 followers before they start considering people for, you know, uh, like review products and stuff like that. I'm like, 10,000 is a lot. That is a lot. I'm nowhere near that. But, I did talk to them and I was telling them, like, I use their stuff like every day. And, we were just chatting. It was a nice little chat. They gave some good info. But they were saying, like, they usually, and I don't know, and I want to say maybe not usually, maybe that's just the requirement and they were probably just being nice. But you need 10,000 at least, he said, to be considered. I'm like, whew, far off from that. But that's okay. I was just curious about it. Because theoretically, I have like most of their sets already anyway. So anything they would be sending me would be almost a repeat, unless they come out with new colors or something like that. But on my channel, I don't be like, okay, well, they're not gonna sponsor me or they're not gonna consider me for a review, so I'm not gonna talk about their products. Because I know some people that do that. Me, if I like something, because I know the people that watch me are probably tired of me talking about these markers, because I do like them. I do think they are the best out there right now. I prefer them over Posca. They have over 400 and something colors. I mean, and yes, their sets can be a little pricey, but I mean, if you think about it, a set of Posca, which has like what, 8 markers in it, if that, that's like what, 20 something bucks. Whereas the Tulliarts, if you buy a set of these, except for I believe the Essentials and the Earth Tone set, which has like 30 something, each set has 22, and you're paying like highest I've seen 38 bucks. Excuse me. So you're getting a better, you're better off with the Tulliarts. It may not seem that way because a lot of people will look at it and be like, man, 38 bucks, 37 bucks, 34 bucks. It varies between those prices. But they'll look and be like, that's expensive. And it's like, really? But you use Posca. That's more expensive. And you don't even get as many markers in there. So I'm always like, no, I prefer Tulliart because, yeah, you can find the Posca sometimes on sale. But that's only certain colors, certain sizes, you know. I personally think that the Tulliart is a better way to go. And I'm sorry if this noise is annoying you guys, because let me tell you how it's annoying me. Um, it's been annoying me since yesterday, so I'm highly annoyed by it. So if you hear that noise louder than you hear me, I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. I mean, I can go, kick her door down, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna behave like normal humans, and I do apologize for it though, because I know it can be annoying because I'm already annoyed by it. Okay, so I don't have colors, and then I did change Pot's colors. So he is like this. I have him in blue and brown, but that's his life jacket because he can't really swim very well. So this isn't his life jacket. I mean, we can still put him in blue, but I'm thinking of leaving his shirt white. But anyway, I changed his color. So he's like this color now, which is way better because originally I had him a little bit darker than his twin, who does not have a name yet. But I changed his color. I do like this color better, and I don't. And that was with the shuttle arts, I believe, which I need to find equivalent color in the Toolie arts because once that shuttle art color is gone, it's gone. So if I have something similar to that, that would be nice. But I'm not holding my breath too much. I mean, the tortilla color maybe, but the problem with that one is I think it leaks. I also have like this warm taupe color, but I think the tortilla color or even khaki in the yellow. Oh no, yeah, tortilla and maybe. Yeah, because I think that desert sand is too yellow. I was looking at that, but I think that's too yellow because that's what we used here, and it's too yellow. So he's more of this tortilla color and the yellow, and we're gonna try it. Um, hopefully it's not. We'll try it on an ear and see what happens. So like this one, I you can clearly see I did not clean this off, and there is paint all over this nib, and I should have cleaned it when I was finished, but this one's definitely probably gonna dry out on me at some point because it's pretty crummy and I'm looking at it and I'm like, uh-oh. But for now, we're just gonna work with it. And I might not finish this whole thing. It's already 12:20. So this seems a little light. I hope it dries a little bit darker. It's also not as gray. The other one was a little bit more gray. This is more of like, I don't know, like human color. I don't know. It might work. It might work. Because none of these, the only characters whose color is set in stone right now is Miso. Even Bo, I'm trying to figure out like the right shade of yellow for her. So but this is a bit lighter than the other colors, so I'm not too sold on it yet. But it'll work for now because this is just a sketch. Am I like, oh, I'm out of focus. Okay. What about if I zoom out a bit? Okay. You're using your 2 yards while listening to. And you have the same size as me, right, Mary? Thank you, Tracy. one of these days, I mean, I am working to turn it into a coloring book, but one of these days I'll actually have the full on story for these guys, and it'll be an actual graphic novel. Um, I might do it in parts because I'm not too good at writing like stories. I used to just sit and write random stories, but I don't do it much. I A lot of my time goes into drawing, so I have the story in my head. I just need to like write it out. I have most of the story in my head. I just need to write it out. But so this is definitely not the color for him. It's pretty close. It's just not as gray. So this would probably be a no. Um, yeah, it's much brighter, but we can go with it for now. Or if it just really bothers me, I can go over it with the Tuli art. I mean, with the shuttle art. It is acrylic, so once it dries, I can go over it. It'll be fine. And also, the good thing about Tuli art, they don't have any repeating colors in their sets. All their colors are different. At least that's what they say. I don't have all of the sets. I have a good number of them, but I don't have all of them. But they say that there's no repeating colors. Don't hold me to that. If you find somebody that has all the colors, they can probably tell you. I think my hand is like keeping you guys from seeing, and I don't. There's like no autofocus thing on here, I don't believe. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. It could be too close, and I might have to zoom out. But then I feel like you guys won't see it. You guys won't see it very well. So let me know. So pictures like this one, when I draw the characters kind of big, is where I wish I had the other nib sizes, or the other, yeah, like the other marker size, because I feel like this is a lot to be trying to cover with a tiny nib. It's doable, but it will come out a lot more smooth and a lot less patchy if you had the bigger nib to cover a bigger area. This small nib is not made for this, but you can do it. It's doable. So, and I know I probably have like a lot of, I noticed lately, well, not lately, but I noticed in general, if I am doing like artwork and things like that, um, because a lot of people think I'm just a coloring channel, so when I do art and other things, they kind of disappear. Uh, there are quite a few, like my regulars, who watch me do everything, which I love. Um, but I can understand why people think, because when I first made my channel, I was doing a lot of like coloring, and I wasn't really showing my art that much. And I was still doing art, but I wasn't doing it as often as I'm doing it now. And so, I can see why people think that. And I noticed that like a lot of my earlier subscribers either aren't on YouTube anymore, or they don't watch YouTube, or they don't come around because I'm doing other things. So they don't come around. And I noticed there's still, like, if I look at my subscribers, I see people from like the earlier days still subscribed. So I'm like, maybe they're not on YouTube because they don't come by and say hi like they used to every time I'm live. So a lot of them, I think, like, maybe they're not on YouTube anymore, and now it's just kind of whoever recently subscribed, I noticed, is kind of around. They don't all, say hi because not everybody, is comfortable with that. I'm gonna change this nib because it looks crappy. And you have the extra fine tip and the medium tip. Okay, how do you like the medium nibs? Because I don't have any of those yet. That's the size in between. Well, that's the next size you're able to buy in the markers. But there is a size in between that in this. But you can only get it in the nibs. You can't get it in the marker. If that makes any sense. I hope it does. He looks a little bit pale, but that's okay. So we're gonna put him, and yeah, I'm thinking of blue and brown, but I feel like that's a lot of brown. So maybe I will make his shorts blue and his shirt gray. I think I might go with that. Yeah, so you can buy, like, these are the extra fine nibs. There's a nib, I don't remember the name of it, but if you go to my wish list, it's on there. And so those nibs, you can only buy them in the nibs. You can't, there's not a marker or a set in that size. The only sets they have is extra fine, medium, and brush. So whatever size that is that's on my wish list after this, they don't have a set for those. They also, I do believe, have like chisel tip replacements. If you're into that. But they don't have chisel tip marker sets. So there's a bit of explaining on that. Because if you go on their Instagram, they will tell you which nibs you can put into which markers. And so that prompted me to be like, okay, well, let me go see which ones I can fit into mine. And then I was watching the post and I was like, okay. So I went and just added them to my, hi Amy, to my wish list. So I know, okay, these are the nibs that can fit into the markers that I have. But they do have other ones. They have like chisel. I think they do have the brush tip replacements now since they have the brush tip markers. So they have brush, they have a chisel, they have whatever size that is that's on mine. Medium, extra fine. I think the chisel is they fit into the medium tip markers, I think. Okay. So let's see. I said gray and blue for his shorts. Now what kind of blue? Because the background is already blue, so I'm thinking the shuttle art has like this nice dark-ish blue. I don't have the blue set in the Tuli arts, but I do think I have some decent blues. Let me see what I got. I don't actually. I guess I'll be needing the blue set next. Jeez, I thought I had more blues than that. Okay. So I guess we will go with the shuttle art blue. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Hi, Nessa. So I could just leave his shirt white, but I'm gonna find a gray, I think. Although the white does look nice with the blue, so I mean I could leave it white. I have a very pale gray that I can use. It's the one I use for shading on miso. Thank you, Amy. This is Pot. I don't color him often. I don't draw him often either. He showed up quite a bit in the other book, but he doesn't come around too much. Um, but he's around. I think I'm gonna make and his sunglasses are like, you know, they don't have the rim around them like Miso's, but I think I want to make it yellow. Not sure. Not sure yet. And then I'm gonna just golden brown. And actually, and if you guys can't hear me, let me know, please. I don't want later hearing nobody talking about they can't hear me. Okay. So now we're gonna color his takoyaki. If I'm not loud enough, check your volume, but do know that I'm not direct. First of all, I don't talk loud. I'm not a loud person. Secondly, my face is not pointed towards my camera, it's pointed down at my book where it should be. Because could you imagine if I was talking towards the camera and trying to color at the same time? That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. So a lot of the times my head is down, but also every time I get sick, my voice gets worse. So you're not gonna hear me, you know, screaming to the Lord into the camera because um, my voice is not what it used to be because every time I get sick, it gets worse, which is fun, by the way. Yeah, that's my AC. So that fan you hear, that's the air conditioning. We have like central AC because we live in the desert. But voice wise, and it's on automatic because it's like a million degrees today. But voice wise, sound wise, as far as me, because I mean, I can turn off the AC, but I'm not, no ma'am. It's way too hot for that. But voice wise, you're not gonna catch me kind of screaming to the heavens because I'm already not a loud person, but also, like I said, ever since I got sick, um, it just it gets worse. So if you can't hear me, you might have to blast your volume, and I'm sorry. And then you got Miss No Consideration downstairs making all the noise in the world. So I will apologize for her because she can't apologize to you guys, and even if she could, she probably wouldn't. So yeah. But as for me, you know, it is what it is. You might have to turn your volume up. I know when I watch certain videos, if the person is really low, I tend to have to turn up my iPad and then I can hear them just fine. So that may be the case. You may have to turn up your volume. Just remember to turn it back down because when you go to watch something else, it's probably going to be blasting in your ear and you'll probably have had forgotten. So just remember to turn it back down. Because sometimes I forget. I'll forget that I had turned up my iPad, and then you'll hear, like, I'll go to another video and it'll be like, hey guys, and then it's like, oh my gosh, what in the world? And then I'm like, oh, I was like, I forgot I was watching that other person and they were like super low. So just don't forget. I'm looking for a nice, like, I don't want to do, I might do there's like this shiny silver kind of blackish color. But then I was like, well, what if I do the inside like a shiny purple? And if I don't like it, I can always do black. I don't know. I keep losing my oh, I got it. I was gonna say I keep losing my nicety bag with my shiny nicety marker. So I need number 93 is what I'm gonna try and go for. 85, 86. 86 is a nice purple. I might do that one. Yuki, you better not. You better not. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. Right, you don't want me to melt because I will melt. You guys will be like, what happened to Bubbles? Oh, she turned off her AC for like 2 seconds and didn't survive. She melted. I remember one time the power went out and it was like summer. Oh my God, when I say I was like, man, so it was like go outside and burn up or burn up in the house. And when I say we were burning up, I was like, and it was out for like an hour. I was like, oh my gosh. And then like, it was kind of sad because the paramedics and stuff they kept coming to my apartment because it's like some older people that live here. And then it was like, I guess they had passed out from like heat stroke. And then it was they came back out again, maybe like an hour later. And I guess the person who was on oxygen, their oxygen, it couldn't run because there was no power. So they had came back out for someone else and they just kept coming back out. I was like, oh my God, I was like, this is crazy. And then I realized, I was like, wait, this isn't going to be good for me either after so long. And I had just like a bunch of like bottles of water and stuff because I was like, I know my asthma is going to like kick in about. And it did. It wasn't so bad. because I usually keep like bottles of water stored in the freezer. So I did have like, frozen bottles of water, but it was way too hot. It was like dead smack middle of summer. And Yuki is, what are you doing, kid? He's like chasing an invisible something in the carpet. And it's funny. I don't know what he's going after, but yeah, it was crazy. I like the purple. The purple turned out kind of cool. Um, and then for some reason, I gave him different glasses on this one. I'm not sure why. I think I meant to put them on him. I think I messed up and I switched their glasses around because if you look here, he has on the ones that Pot has on, and then he has on the ones he's supposed to. But that's okay. It's fine. Now I think um, I might do green for him as well because I just think that it's not gonna match his clothes. But I mean, if you think about it, his doesn't either. But I think they can have matching glasses. So I'm gonna make his green, like Miso's. So all I really have to do now is and I might as well go through and all I have to do now is kind of add the shading on it. I don't take my markers to work because this thing is heavy. So and I left my sketchbook on. I think it was Saturday. I felt so weird without it. I probably will never do that again. Uh, Amy told me too. She was like, "You better not leave it," and I left it. And I had my tablet with me, but I didn't really do anything on it. I was like, my plan was to work on some of the coloring pages, but then I kept having to get up, so it didn't work out so well. So I think I'm gonna do that on Wednesday. I might do it on stream. If you guys want to see me do some line work for coloring pages, I can do that. But yeah, you did tell me. I said it too at work. I said Amy told me not to leave my sketchbook, and I should have listened. But I'm bringing it today. I'm not doing that ever again because I was like, well, first of all, I felt weird. I was like, this is weird, and I kept like looking around, like, where's my sketchbook? And it was kind of weird. Like I wasn't saying it out loud, but I know people were probably looking at me like, why is she spazzing out like that? Because I kept thinking I set it down somewhere, and then I was like, oh yeah, I left it at home. So won't do that again. So I'll just bring my sketchbook and my game like I normally do. And then there was like a whole thing. I'm gonna have to make some noise when I go to work because we have this one person that I work with, and I hate to say it, but she's really lazy and she doesn't like to work. And I guess they caught her playing with her tablet or something when it was really busy. And, they told her, you can't have it, you can't bring it because, you're not supposed to have it or whatever. So her response to that was, well, Jazz has her game. And so instead of management saying, well, Jazz does her work and Jazz is Jazz, we're not talking about Jazz, we're talking about you, their response, because she threatened to go to corporate. Their response was, "Well, Jazz, you can't play your game anymore because someone made a complaint." And I'm like, "Well, I got permission to play my game. So, what does that have to do with me? Because they made a complaint that I play my game, and I don't play my game when we're busy. It's impossible. You can't because there's so much going on. You'll never have time to sit down and focus on what you're doing on the game because it's so busy. Um, my game gets played when I have nothing going on in my gates and there is nothing for me to do. And even then, I'm still aware and watching. I'm just playing my game." I said, "And again, I got permission." So because she made a complaint, they're trying to tell me that I can no longer play my game. And I said, "Okay, well, where is this coming from?" Because I went to the general manager and asked him, was it okay? And he said it was okay. So where is this coming from all of a sudden? Because she doesn't want to do her work. She wants to sit and play the game all night. And, you know, if she was a good worker and she did her job and she only pulled it out, like I do, then they probably wouldn't mind. But she's not. But my problem I have is you're now telling me that I can't bring my game because someone made a complaint because they got told they can't bring theirs. So now I feel like I have to go make some noise. And exactly, Amy, exactly. And I'm like, I'm a little upset at management because I'm like, why? First of all, the first thing you should have told her was, we're not talking about her, we're talking about you. That should have been the first thing that should have been said. Second thing that should have been said was, you don't know who has permission to do what. We're telling you you cannot bring yours because you were caught playing yours while we were busy. So somehow I got caught into it, and they were like, well, I guess they said they were going to corporate or something. And so their answer to that was, well, Jazz can't play her game anymore. And I'm like, well, how is that fair when I got permission to play my game? I've been at this job for almost 5 years, and I got permission way early on. So now someone comes along, doesn't want to do their job, and now all of a sudden it's like, no, you can't anymore because she complained. Okay, well, what about when I complain about things? These workers and their attitude and how they talk to us and how they don't listen and how this and how that. You guys do absolutely nothing. But the second someone says, oh, we're going to go to corporate, or we're going to say this, or, well, so and so does it, now suddenly you want to do something about it. So I might have to make some noise today, and we'll see where that goes. Matter of fact, I don't even think the management is there today. I think she's off. So tomorrow is probably when I'm gonna have to make some noise. But that's crazy. And then she sent the night manager to tell me, and the night manager's like, I hate to be the one to tell you, but they're gonna follow up with you on it. But I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna tell you can't play your game anymore. I'm like, yeah, okay, time to make some noise because just because she got in trouble because she doesn't know how to do her job properly, I'm being punished for that. When I've been telling you guys about this girl since day one, about her work ethics and how she doesn't do the things she's supposed to be doing, the things she's getting paid to do. Now you guys wanna take some action now that she says she's going to corporate. So this is about to be a fun little debacle, and I don't have the patience or the energy, but I'm gonna have the patience and the energy because I feel like it's unfair, especially because I went out my way to ask and get permission. Um, just because I didn't want to be that person like, oh, let me just bring my game. I'm gonna ask and get permission and make sure it's okay before I just do something. And that's any job. That just makes sense. Any job, you would hope that you would go and be like, hey, is this okay if I do this, etc., etc. You know, you don't just go and do it. And just because you see one person doing something doesn't mean it's okay for you to do it, because you don't know what kind of permissions or privileges that person has. But I don't like the way they went about it. Is my issue, because I got dragged into something that had nothing to do with me from the start, and I don't like that. So don't put my name into anything when you get in trouble. That makes no sense. So I was kind of upset about it on Saturday, and I said, well, I mean, it is what it is. Uh, I'm not just gonna. I'm still gonna bring my game to work because you can't tell me what I can't play on my break. But um, I won't play it on the floor. I'm gonna respect what they said, but I am gonna make some noise about it. And I'm not, threatening to go to corporate or anything. I'm going straight to management because they're the ones who came up with the rule. So now I have to go to her, like, one, why was my name brought up in a conversation that had nothing to do with me? That's my first question. And then if I got permission to do something and someone got in trouble for doing something they did not have permission to do, why am I being punished for that? Because again, my name shouldn't have even been brought up. And this girl, she doesn't like me. She goes out of her way to um, do the total opposite of everything I asked her to do. And I've been talking about this girl. I've been asking them to do something about this girl. Nothing's being done. And the second she goes and says, well, you're just doing it, they're like, okay, you can't play her game anymore because she said that, basically she said you're playing it, so she feels like she can play it. Well, no. And you, as management, should have said that. But it was not said, so I'm like, all right. And I'm kind of over the situation as far as, like, the way they went about it, but not before I go make my noise, because you're not just about to walk all over me and I'm just gonna be like, okay. So that's gonna be a fun situation. They're twins, so they're gonna both have on the blue shorts. I do believe I used, I think it was 80 something. They're both gonna have on the same shorts. But yeah, so that was the situation on that, and I'm just like, why even? And I'm like, okay. So, but anyway, back to what I was saying about my sketchbook. Never leaving it behind. And I never leave my game behind, so they can't make me leave it at home. So that comes with me regardless. But my sketchbook, excuse you, um, my sketchbook, yeah, I shouldn't have never. And Amy told me too. She was like, "Do not leave it." And I walked right out the door like I'm gonna be fine. Y'all, I was losing my mind. And then, of course, when I didn't have my sketchbook, is when I was coming up with ideas to sketch and things like that, and then got home and forgot about them. I was like, golly. And it was like kind of like right around the time where that whole you can't bring your game conversation happened. So it was kind of inevitable that I was going to forget, but coming up with an idea and then totally forgetting it is crazy. But I did. I ended up forgetting, and okay. More ideas to come. But boy, when I tell y'all, I had to like really, I was like, let me go home. I had to like really compose myself because I was like, you know what? I was like, are we serious today? And I said, I guess we are serious. I said, let me just go home in silence. And I had to like really hold my tongue last night. And, you know, I told the night manager a little bit. I was like, well, how is that fair? And I said, well, Jazz, just be quiet because at the end of the day, you know, they can say, well, you know, it really doesn't matter what they say because if I got permission to do something, um, you know, it is what it is. And I even asked her, I said, well, who is that coming from? I said, is it coming from the person who gave me permission or is this coming from somebody else? And I said, well, let me hold my tongue because I don't want to kind of get mad at her because it's not her fault. Um, you know, but nobody was like, you know, and it's not really their place to be telling this girl like, well, you know, Jazz got permission or Jazz this or Jazz that because it's not really any of her business. But for you to come to me and say you can't play your game anymore, that lets me know you guys had a conversation about it. And, you know, the result was okay, she can't play her game because this girl's going to go to corporate. If she goes to corporate, she goes to corporate. Um, and I told her, I said, let her go to corporate. I said, because everything we do in that place is documented. So they're going to look at her records, my records, her activity, my activity, her anything that she's done, how many times she's been late, how many times, you know, we've had to speak to her about certain things. They're going to look at all of that, compare it to me, and they're going to wonder what the problem is. And then, you know, if I decide to go out my way and go to corporate, it's going to be like, well, I got permission. I don't know what this girl's problem is, you know. But when I spoke about this girl and was, you know, trying to push for something to be done about her because she's very rude to start with, um, you know, and she's very hard to work with because she doesn't follow directions purposely. And, you know, they're going to look at that and they're going to look at me who's like literally busting my behind in that place all the time. Um, you know, and I don't feel like going through all of that. But you are not just about to sit here and be like, well, you can't do this because she complained. Nah. So that was easy to just have like the little pieces. That's good. I like that. It is still wet, so I'm gonna leave it open a little bit before I go. But Amy, I'm not leaving my sketchbook. I'm taking it with me. And then I do have another page. This one that I'm eager to color. This one has Bo and the Ice Princess, and then this one is Miso and the boys. So finally getting some color on this because I was tired of looking at these blank pages. Um, yeah, I'm not forgetting it again because, and then before I left, I'm working on the cover to the trading cards. So what I did really quick before I leave because I have a few minutes, um, I was looking for things to put them in. So I have like these envelopes and I was looking for green and this is a nice green. So I'm gonna, and I know you guys can't really see it, but these two is gonna be the sketches for the packs to go on the front. And then the cards will go in here so you'll be able to pull your cards out and see which ones you got. I'm gonna give each card a number and I'm just going to write numbers on papers and kind of just pick it out of the bowl, and those are the ones you'll get. Um, so I won't know until, well, I don't know which ones you get until I pull it out of the thing because I'm gonna have to draw it obviously. But when I pull it out, you know, that'll be the number. cards you get. So I was going through here and I was kind of like numbering the ones that is going to be in the cards packs. So this one, but I'm gonna clean it up so it doesn't have a number yet. But this one for sure. And I like very faintly put numbers next to them, so I'm like trying to see. Some of these aren't. This one should be two, but I haven't finished it yet, so I'm gonna finish it first. These two. These two. No, not this one. This is a birthday one. This one though. Give me a minute. This one. These two. These four. This one, which isn't finished yet, but that one's gonna be in there too. This one, these two, this one. Once I finish it, you guys can't really see it because it's a very faint sketch. So, I want to make this one into a trading card. So probably that one. These two. These two, the summer festival ones. These two. I know it's hard to see them, but and then these three. I did this one the other day. It's so cute. And then of course whatever I draw going forward. So there's a lot that you can pick from. It'll be 4 in a pack. And you know, you get what you get when you pull it. So yeah, so I mean there's a possibility you can get some rare ones, you know. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, so that'll be up in my Ko-fi shop. I'm aiming to start once I finish the sketch for the covers and get them colored and cut out and stick them on the envelopes. Then I'll have them in my shop, up in my shop, and you can buy them. Just like the prints are there. I do have some stickers coming. Give me a week to finish those, and once they're finished, they'll be up. So keep an eye on my Ko-fi because that is where I post my things. So that's it. I will catch you guys. What's tomorrow? Tuesday? Maybe tomorrow before work. I'll probably come on and color some more things. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for coming to listen to my little rant that I had there at the end. I'm sorry, but yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.